Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen. e5 is a common response that establishes a presence in the center, controls d4, and opens up the queen and dark-squared bishop. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the e5 pawn, and prepares to castle. Knight c6 develops the knight toward the center, protects the pawn on e5, and eyes the d4 square. The Ruy-Lopez opening develops the bishop to immediately attack the knight on c6. The lone bishop c5 develops the bishop, controls the center, and attacks the f2 pawn. c3 controls the d4 square and prepares the d4 pawn push. Knight f6 develops the knight toward the center and prepares to castle kingside. d4 attacks the bishop and the e-pawn, gains space in the center, and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. This removes the attacking pawn. The correct move to safety. The correct move to safety. Castling gets the king out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. This is the only good move. This moves the bishop to a better location, allowing it to control more squares. That was a free pawn. This is the only move that works. This prepares the bishop for development. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. With this recapture, black introduces a new piece to the game. This offers an equal trade of pieces. Castling to the same side of the board is a more cautious approach. Advancing the pawns in front of the king can compromise the king's safety. The bishop is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This moves the bishop to safety. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. The rook is now on an open file, which helps control squares across the board. A very strong play. Moving the queen gives white more flexibility in the middle game. This move puts the pawn on a safer square. This is the strongest option. With the rook now developed as well, black has all pieces ready for action. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. Right on target. White activates the last piece, bringing all pieces into play. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This threatens to win material through a tactic. This stops the opponent from being able to win material through a tactic. This overlooks an opportunity to increase a bishop's scope by moving it to a better square. This avoids clear danger. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. The pawn is now passed because it can no longer be challenged by pawns as it tries to promote. This attacks a queen, winning a tempo when it moves away. The correct move to safety. This permits the opponent to force an isolated pawn. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. This is the only good move. This is the only move that works. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. The clearly correct move for a threatened knight. The clearly correct move for a threatened queen. The correct move to safety. This loses material. This wins material. This allows the knight to control more squares. This wins material. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. Capturing that rook wins material. This moves the bishop to safety. This avoids clear danger. This threatens to eventually win a pawn. This allows the opponent to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. Taking that pawn wins material after the follow-up trades are made. A straightforward recapture. This overlooks an opportunity to win material by trapping a piece. This moves the pawn to safety. This threatens to checkmate the king. This prevents the opponent from being able to checkmate the king. Very precise. This threatens to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. This threatens to eventually win material. This prevents the opponent from being able to eventually win material. This is the strongest option. A solid choice. This moves the bishop to a more active square, making it gain scope. One of the best moves. Right on target. Very precise. A very strong play. This wins time by threatening a bishop and forcing it to move away. The clearly correct move for a threatened bishop. This avoids clear danger. This is an equal trade. A straightforward recapture. The piece finds a new active square. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. This moves the queen to safety. This doubles the rooks on a file, which allows them to team up to create threats. This protects an underdefended pawn that is under attack. This wins time by threatening a queen and forcing it to move away. The clearly correct move for a threatened queen. The rooks are coordinated and powerfully doubled on the file. The pawn is now adequately defended. This is the strongest option.